Federal land management agencies work to provide access to current and future generations of visitors while protecting valuable resources. Advances in transportation planning and engineering help the agencies in this work. They also help promote economic sustainability of neighboring communities and improve access to underserved populations. Unfortunately, federal land units have limited resources or expertise to effectively plan and implement advances in transportation systems. Also, much of the current workforce is nearing retirement age, so it is really important to attract young professionals to become part of the future workforce. The National Park Foundation Transportation Scholars Program started in 2000 with a grant from the Ford Motor Company, and the more recent Public Lands Transportation Scholars Program exists to address these issues by bringing young transportation professionals with engineering and planning expertise to federal land units to help solve specific transportation issues. The programs provide hands-on work, training, and leadership experience. The programs also increase awareness of future challenges and opportunities within public lands.
We've had over 60 scholars serve at over 50 different federal land units. And this year, with the Park Foundation program and the Federal Lands program, there are 10 scholars. So it's exciting that it's been able to grow in that way.
The federal land management agencies include the Park Service, Fish and Wildlife, U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management. It's about, in our country, there's about 600 million acres of federal lands, or 30% of the United States. So. A lot of recreational visitors to these areas, a lot of transportation issues that they need assistance with.
The Transportation Scholar Program raises the awareness of transportation issues in public lands and how transportation really can affect not only resources but visitor experience. The Transportation Scholar often helps current public service professionals understand the critical role that all the aspects of transportation play into managing their lands and accomplishing their missions.
We are moving into a new future of trying to connect with urban landscapes and urban populations, and for us, the Scholar Program is providing a very valuable service to come in and help us figure out how to make those connections. This really brings to us something we would never be able to achieve in-house.
The public lands are being counted on in a lot of small communities as an economic driver. So the scholars in this program can help us. We're doing the planning for the future generations, not just us. And so having those new ideas and the way they think is really important, and to be incorporated in the way we do our planning today. The main thing is bringing young people to take the place of those of us who are getting ready to retire.
Well, first of all, these students are very bright and they're inquisitive, and I believe they're very resourceful, and we really do need to incorporate this generation, their knowledge, their background, their instincts, their use of technology to help us manage these lands in the future.
When I first decided that I wanted to do transportation planning, it was really about being able to give people access to places. I think access is so important for underserved communities and communities of color, and so when I saw this opportunity, I thought it would be perfect. It would be a great way to merge my transportation background and my love for the great outdoors.
The Transportation Scholars Program provides what I think is a really wonderful opportunity to work on some really meaningful projects, particularly about both preserving our public lands, but also improving people's ability to enjoy them, to get there, and to be safe when they're there.
The Scholars Program is important. Besides just providing staff resources, it's important to have our refuge managers and our regional leadership consider transportation as important in resource management.
My hope is that the Transportation Scholar Program brings transportation professionals back to public service. I think it enlightens these young and talented professionals to what public service can do.
The work that the scholars do has both immediate and long-term benefits to our public lands. They help create and implement transportation solutions that bring new and underserved populations to public lands, improve visitor experience, protect resources in and around the units, and cultivate economic sustainability for the gateway communities. Since the new MAP 21 transportation legislation reduced federal funding for these programs, they may end despite their legacy of success. To continue these programs, it will be necessary to build partnerships, find new sources of funding, and new champions. With your help, the Transportation Scholar Programs will continue to nurture talented young transportation professionals to use and develop their expertise to protect our fragile and inspirational natural resources and ensure their continued enjoyment by generations to come.